we go. Welcome back to another Ab Nation Barbecue Show. The first of the summer 2023. Hopefully an amazing, great start of your week. Monday night, June 19, 2023. We are about, 9 days before the NHL draft possible. And that's what's going to thinking. It will be interesting to see what's happening in the next 9 days. Tonight, guys, on this show, we have a great subject to talk about. Ken Hughes, talk to me. He said it's complicated, coach. What are you talking about? He said it's not easy. Who they going to select at the 5th overall pick? Can they move up? Can they move down? Can they keep it? What happening in the next 9 days will be very interesting to follow the Montreal Canadiens. By the way, guys, if you follow my Abs Nation, you have my daily news video, every morning, 7 o'clock a.m. Today, we talk about the Montreal Canadiens and offer a sheet to the Edmonton Oilers, the defenseman Evan Bouchard. That creates some kind of controversy about that one there. That's maybe not my thinking about this, but it's happening that way. But it was fun to talk about this for sure. And that's happening, guys, about this an abs of offer. She will talk about this tonight at this special show. But again, well, Ken Hughes is complicated. That's what the subject of the Ab Nation. If you follow the Montreal Canadiens, if you're a Montreal Canadiens fans, don't forget all summer, the Monday nights and the Wednesday night, they are all only for the Montreal Canadiens. So we don't go talk about what's going on around the league. At least you have a major or a big news. We're going to open up the door. But most of the time, we're going to talk about only one team. It's this about, guys, your team, the Montreal Canadiens. Let's talk Abs Monday night and Wednesday night. Of course, once you have some kind of weeks off for me, I'm going to take at least 2 or 3 weeks vacations during the summer and July and August. But otherwise, it's going to be all summer. We're going to have some time. Marco and Artap and any other guests going to join me live the Monday and the Wednesday. Now, what happening with the Ab Nation is going to be live the Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday with optional day. So we are off for the summer. Friday night, Saturday night, sometime will be the Sunday or Thursday. Depends what my week look like. So kind of transformation about the Hockey Nation live show and the Ab Nation. We're going to build them something special the next couple of days, a week, and we'll definitely give you all the update, what's going on. So that's what we got tonight. Of course, at the end of the show, guys, the Frenchy quiz. I don't know if you know this one, but if you are become a regular of the show, the Frenchy quiz at the end of the show, this is the leaderboard we got so far after, 10, 11 days. Nicolas de Gobi-Bono, following by Enartap and RJ, are the leader of this Frenchy quiz with 2 good night. We have a few people knock the door, guys. We want to welcome everybody very, very quickly. We have a lot of great subjects to talk about. So let's talk in first of all. The moderator, Mr. Luciano Graziano, is in the house tonight. From Alberta, the writer of the Calgary Flame, guys, I suggest to follow him on the Twitter account. He can read about when he writes about the Flames. He's a big fan, of course, of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And he's back in the house. Mr. Randy Walkman is in the house. Randy is going to pop up during the summer talking about something, what's going on, more about the team at Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver. And I can't wait to have Randy with us at some point during the summertime. Our friend Sebastian back in the house. Sebastian, time to be with us. Glad to have you, my friend, Sebastian. Directly from Thailand. Happy Tuesday, Mr. Kenneth. Hopefully doing well, you and your girlfriend. And hopefully you're going to see you the next couple weeks. I think Kenneth will be in town. By the way, talking about in town, guys, our friend Rudolph, I don't know if you follow him. He's with us many times. Sometimes he does not talk too much, but he's always listening to the Hockey Nation show. He's on the trip right now. And he's just back from Philippines or Vietnam? I don't know. He's somewhere. Anyhow, now he's in Thailand. He's in Bangkok. And he's going to be with me next week in Pattaya. So I'm going to meet him and talking and met for the first time. I'm going to take a picture, guys. I always love to meet people from the chat when we have a chance to meet me, whatever I am. I know I'm Thailand. It's not easy, but Kenneth is in Thailand. And look like Rudolph is going to visit me next week. So I can wait to see Rudolph next weekend, next during the week. We have Sébastien Luciano. Welcome back. Directly from Ottawa, Mr. Claude Richard is in the house. Welcome back, Claude. Thanks to you with our Canadian show. From Nashville, the Shark is in the house tonight. Hopefully doing well. My friend is ready to rock and roll the NHL draft next week. The captain, moderator, Danny T, the singer of everything's going on. Mr. Captain is with us. We have something special from Danny. We're going to make this. It's just too long to put the all together here, but we're going to make some kind of segment of his song at some point, guys. So at some point, it'll be like Tuesday or Thursday, depends my schedule. But stay tuned for his song. 2 weeks long hard wave coming starting Wednesday. Please to invite on the music factor. Look like it's going to be a wave of the hot summer somewhere. Sebastien, it's happened sometime. Here we go. Mr. Deal is in the house. Real Deal back in the house. Our friend William McClary directly from Ontario is in the house tonight. And I tried to pick it up. Directly from Arvada, Denver downtown, Mr. Willie Snyder. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us. This is about you have to win the contest to make the leaderboard, Willie. It looked like you have not make any winner so far winning, Willie. So since the beginning, where is Coach? Randy is right here. I blame Danny. Here we go. Then we have a few people knock the door. Hi, Coach. Thanks so much, Danny. I can wait to talk to you very soon. But I'll win the IIHL Player of the Year, not for junior, but overall. William McClure mentioned about Connor Bedard. You're absolutely right about this, guys. Then we'll see where you get. André Robert Drouin is in the house. Welcome back, André. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. I got your email, André. I'm going to respond to you. A little bit later during the day, Andre, and thanks again to sharing. Really enjoy it. Very nice to hear from you. And only from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the best, Andre, whatever happening to you. The Hockey National Show family is think about you, and we wish you, again, speed recovery. Do the best you can be for whatever you want to be with us. That's what's happening there, guys. Let's move on what we got tonight, guys. I'm going to have that conversation. I know I start early. First of all, you have any question in the chat, please don't forget to click on it, to put the letter Q. And the summertime, guys, is the show where it's a lot of people pop up sometime when have not much news. People take a break. That's just normal. By the way, talking about take a break, we're just a bit concerned about Luc Lavorson. Did not see Luc for the last couple of days, maybe 1 week now. Hopefully, the thing is well with Luc, and hopefully we'll see him around the next couple of shows. First of all, guys, Ken Hughes, he said it's complicated. And I think the NHL draft this year is going to be really interesting. I know in our talk about it, it's really shocking. Well, it's not shocking, but it's really strange when you hear all the comments about the NHL mock. By the way, I'm going to make my NHL mock draft today or tomorrow. I almost finished with my top 16. I'm not going to go top 32, only top 16 at this moment. And where I put the different expert with the selection is really strange. It's easy when you go at the Bedard, Fantilli, right, Carlson, the 1, 2, and 3. But you start a bit different with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 example. And they are coming from TSN, Sportnet, Edit Prospect, and Atlantic. So what I did 4 different expert, and what they give us the selection for the Montreal Canadiens example. We're going to talk about this next in a couple of minutes. I was going to show you the graphic. But at the end of the day, you can see it's getting complicated from 4, 5, and 6. And that will be interesting what the Montreal Canadiens are going to get there. There are many scenarios could happen for the Montreal Canadiens. First of all, they could trade up, pick up number 4, right? They could mow down, trade down, and to pick 16. I don't know, like example 8 with the Washington Capitals. We heard rumor with the 9 with the Detroit Red Wings. That would be something Montreal can go down for Mitch Cobb. They want Mitch Cobb. Now they can keep it number 5, and we stay there and see what they have on the leaderboard. Now, many trade proposals going to happening, I believe, during that draft, NHL draft. I think a lot of teams, the reason behind that, when I said that, I expect those kind of trade is because teams are shifting from rebuilding or they're shifting for retoolings. I will give you an example. The Washington Capitals are not ready to rebuild. They are retooled. But at the same time, they want maybe to bank the prospect, and they maybe believe the next Ovechkin could be Mitch Cobb. Can they make a move from Mitch Cobb? I don't know, but it could happen. Secondly, I would tell you the San Jose Sharks. Are they really going to rebuild or are they going to retool? This is another big question. Another team, selection number 14, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Are going to rebuilding or are they going retoolings? And I think they could trade their pick because they want to win with a small window they have. I don't know what Carl Dubas is going to do. I don't know if Pittsburgh have that kind of mindset. I'm just sharing what I'm thinking about this. Pick number 11, the Vancouver Canucks, is another team or maybe looking to maybe trade that pick and get something to not rebuilding, but make them a little bit better and not wait 3 more years what the player they already have. Vancouver have a lot of things to set up. And we know they buy out the defenseman OEL, Herman and Larson on the weekend. But again, it's another thing, guys, you have to figure out. I know Randy stay around. Talk about the Calgary Flame. Can they trade the 16th or 15th, the 16th draft? I don't think so. But it's a thing right now. Try to shopping for fun players and then trade some players they have. And if an example, he does not want to have a long-term contract over there. So they have a lot of things, guys, on the have to take big decision. We're going to talk about NHL tomorrow night at the show. The biggest UFA, the biggest trade you can see during summer, the RFA, and a lot of great conversation tomorrow night. But tonight, about the Montreal Canadiens, that's happening now. When Montreal is complicated about the pick number 5. Before I go there, guys, there are a lot of people chat right now in the chat, and I'm going to pick it up here. We have a question from Luciano, and I did not forget about this one over there. Luciano, I see the Q when he said that. Hearing the Belzile as mate is very clear. He is looking for the same deal Pesada got. So the key about the Belzile, Alec Belzile, guys, he looking to stay in the NHL, first of all. So secondly, he's looking to have a 1-way contract. So the case of Pesada, if he returned to Laval Rocket and nobody claimed him on the waiver, but he get the same salary with the Montreal or Laval Rocket. So Belzile is looking more for security than that. He's 31 years old. I understand what he did. The window or the door was open for him. He shows some flash and he shows some kind of character and perseverance, dedication, everything like that. I don't know, guys. With all my heart and my love and for him, another French Canadian never give up, right? But at some point, you have to be realistic. And the NHL is shifting for speed from youngest players. And if you keep Belzile and one-way contract, is going to affect the salary cap for the Montreal Canadiens. So I'll be shocked. Now I think he's going to testing the UFA, and from the UFA, he had nobody get him. I think maybe he would accept a 700 or 800 minimum contract, like Pesada, play for Pittsburgh or play for another team in NHL. Can Luke Richardson for the Chicago Blackhawks know very well Belzile, Pierre Paul and Montreal Canadiens could offer a contract to him. You have many elect Belzile in NHL. But if he's leaving now Laval Rocket, look, if in 3 years he's retired, he can come back with Laval Rocket. It's just for me the money at some point, and Montreal is going to be limited about this. And I don't like when they take a spot, younger players, where we at with the Montreal Canadiens at that moment. Great question. Mr. A2 is in the out of drafting everyone. Yeah, that's a great, that's a great point about that one over there. It's just crazy when you follow everything around the league for the Montreal Canadiens. You're shifting from one website, you're listening the French station, radio, TV, podcast, English. You read many websites and you try to say, oh my God, someone said this, another player doesn't like Mishkov. Mishkov is a bad person. The one, no, he's a good person. Mishkov does not want to talk. Or Mishkov, he can talk. It just become crazy. And but again, it's a challenge. It's a good conversation. That's the reason we do the show tonight. I would like to hear from you guys. Give us some. This is your show about Montreal Canadiens. So open up tonight with me, and going happening every Mondays and Wednesday night, guys, during the summer. I just finished mine, coach. Here we go, Randy. Glad to hear that. Just try to edit mine. As I've done so many prediction. I'm hearing a rumor with the Ducks coach. I don't know the Ducks can go that way. When you study the roster, I think they were looking for Fantelli for that, I believe. I'm still on the fence about coach winning the face-off against Lulu. Was an easy one, Willie. Don't worry about that. RG Calabro is in the house. William talk about Mishka. We're going to talk about him the next couple of minutes, but you're absolutely right about this, William. I just confirm your post. Mishka is coming to Nashville, and he's already set up some kind of fun meetings with fun team. Many teams want to talk about them, and again, I don't see like Boston want to talk with Mishka, right? But if you think about Anaheim, San Jose, Columbus, Montreal, Philadelphia, Arizona, Washington, Detroit. This is the top 9 team I'm talking about. And I think one of them is going to select Mishkov. So he's going to meet each one of them at least to have those kind of conversations, to know more about Mishkov, what he's thinking, what he's thinking about NHL, what he's going to play, and to know the really who is really Mishkov. So he have already an agreement to talk with Ken Hughes and the staff of the Montreal Canadiens. And we'll see what's happening. I don't know exactly when it's going to be in Nashville. They're going to figure out some kind of meeting. Can that meeting, that conversation Mishkov does with different NHL team are going to changing or not the mind of the team? This is the biggest question about this. We'll definitely know this more after the NHL draft, when he said Washington set up Mishkov, and then Montreal did not select Mishkov. Well, Montreal select Mishkov. We don't know yet. But that's a really great conversation, and that's make the NHL draft a special this year. Last year was about Sarkowski versus Wright. This year, it's not that way. It's more about what is going to happen with Mishkov at the end of the night. Jacob McGinley is in the house. I got the lead missing the playoff. I gave Chanel both fire. Frank Saravelli is said that Hughes is trying to move Hoffman for nothing, and no team is interested. But the key about that one over there is Montreal Canadiens announced they're going to have 2 players on the market, on the trade bay right now, to offer to any team in NHL. 2 of them, one is Mike Hoffman and one is Joel Edmondson. Edmondson represents a bit more value for other team. He's a big, 6'4" defenseman, left defenseman, big body. The Vegas Golden Knights just proved when you have all those kind of size on the defensive, helping the team to win, maybe a better chance to win a Stanley Cup versus a defenseman at 6 foot. So Edmondson, that's kind of bring on the table. The problem with Edmondson is a little bit what the problem with Mark Stone. Maybe not the same kind of gravity of the injury, but at the end of the day, Edmondson, it can be stopped to play hockey 1 month because his back is not he's not back at 100%. So there's something you have to remember. That was the reason why it's decreasing the value of Edmondson. Now you can make a trade for a pick and return, and I would say to you, okay, William or Luciano is the GM of the another team in NHL, and we make a trade, both you with me, and you will say, okay, you want Edmondson? I will give you I would ask you a third round pick. But if he plays 50 games, 60 games during the season, plus the playoff, a total of 70 game example, I need a second round pick. If your team make the playoff, maybe now jumping for the third round pick to the second round pick. If he cannot play on the playoff, he cannot play in the playoff, and he does not play 50 game example. But during the season, I can get a third round pick in return. Those kind of negotiations could happen with John Edmondson. Obviously, for Mike Hoffman, guy, the only way they can trade him, in my opinion, is to retaining some kind of money on his salary cap. We know the maximum money he can retaining on the contract is 50%. So he make 4.5, but easy equation for $4.5 million. Montreal can keep $2.25 million for this season, and then Hoffman can play another team what they want. Mike Hoffman, again, in return, it's zero almost. So again, we talk about Mike Hoffman, but great point about this A2. And then William Mishka will fit in Washington. The Capital will wait for him like they did for Kuznetsov. Yeah, there's a great point about this, William. Again, people are concerned. Mishka is going to play in NHL, guys. Now, Washington could sit there and try to figure out if the Montreal Canadiens are not going to select Michkov. They're going to get Leonard. Arizona maybe go Reinbacher. And Philadelphia, this is the biggest problem for the Washington Capitals. Are they going to go with Benson or Michkov or Devosky? Now, Washington could take a risk to not trade for nothing or make a trade with the Montreal Canadiens at the 8-5, and then they can maybe give a second-round pick or a first-round pick, whatever you want to give, a prospect, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, that would be the risk of the Washington Capitals if they want it. Great point about that. Again, William. I think will move up to the Ducks. I think they want a Michkov. But the problem with that part, Randy, is Anaheim requests Logan Mailloux, the first round pick, 31st overall pick, and the pick number 5. That's a lot for the Montreal Canadiens to give Adam Fantilli. I don't understand why they will do that for Adam Fantilli. And maybe behind that, maybe Leo Carlson could be the better one. So I can understand your point of view. That was the rumor we heard about the Ducks. But I don't see why the Ducks are going to take a risk to do that trade to get Michkov. And then after that, they don't get Michkov. Because San Jose take Michkov. And now they get maybe Carlson or Smith. So I don't know about this. If they trade the second round pick and then they're for Fantilli to get Will Smith, as I think is a degrading players about that. I don't know. And for Montreal Canadiens, I don't see why they will do that at the end of the day. Fresh rumor about Michkov is that he wants to play in Washington, but that's a normal thing to say, right? If you're coming to the NHL draft, you're not going to say, I don't want to play for Montreal Canadiens, right? So you have those kind of the kind for the players or for agent, and he will say, yes, I want to play for any team, want to draft me or something like that. So I'm not worried too much about those kind of conversation but I can understand your point of view. And Rabinov, of course, the Washington Capitals have those kind of relationship with the Russian player since day one. So I can see that's the best friend. Lig, I'm back again. Welcome back, best friend. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. Don't forget to get on the line. That'd be awesome. I can't pick it up. Mr. DV is in the house. Welcome back, DV. Miss you, buddy. He want Michkov. Yeah, that's another point you can talking about the Michkov for sure. For that. Now, the list of the prospect ranking guys for the Montreal Canadiens. For what we know, right? We expect Bedard, Fantilli, Carson, 1, 2, and 3. Now, for number 4, number 5, it depends on San Jose Sharks. And it's still complicated, not because I can use, because the San Jose can play the troublemaker for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, San Jose can select Michkov, can select Smith, Some people talk about Benson now with the San Jose Sharks. That's surprisingly. But otherwise, Montreal are going to select between those 5 players. Will Smith, Leonard, Reinbacher, Benson, or Michkov. That's something like that. My only concern about Reinbacher, guy, it reminds me the story about Kotkaniemi. What are you talking about? But the Kotkaniemi situation, a 3rd overall pick, I think Montreal Canadiens, Bergeron was really focusing more on the center. We need a center, we need a center, we need a center, we need a center, we need a center. Kotkaniemi on the prospect list was really between 9 to 12, 13 on the ranking. Now, Reinbacher is considered to be the best defenseman and NHL draft prospect at this moment. But I'm not sure if Reinbacher is going to be top 5. He's never going to be, guys, on the top first pairing on your defenseman. Maybe second defenseman. But this guy is like not much percentage. He's going to be a really good second pairing defenseman and NHL. That's what he's going to be. Are you willing to let go Leonard, Smith, Benson, Michkov for a second pairing defenseman? All the 4 players I'm talking about are definitely going to be a top 6 and maybe your top line players on your future. This is my only concern about Reinbacher compared to all 4 other players. So I hope this does not turn around the 5th pick like a Kotkaniemi in the future. I don't know they're going to go Reinbacher, but definitely I like the kid. I like how he does. But 5th overall pick in 2023, I don't believe it. He is the right player to be selected by the Montreal Canadiens. That's the reason why it's complicated at some point. It could be not complicated if San Jose select Michkov and now Montreal Canadiens have the choice to get Smith or Leonard. On that list I have in front of you guys, it looked like Michkov is already out and Montreal maybe doesn't want to have Michkov. It's going to be between Will Smith and Leonard. I think they are the 2 only players Montreal really want in my eyes. We know the kind of relationship between Ken Hughes and them. Ken is it good enough? Zach Benson is a little bit up and down for me. He's still only a 5'9" players, and I'm not sure a top 5 he deserves to be there. We understand what kind of player he is. He's a good hockey player, but for me, I think Leonard and Smith going to have a little bit better career in NHL. We don't know the seeding for each one of them, but that's the reason I said it's complicated. It's complicated at some point. Let's move on here, guys. If you have anything, let me know. Ovi would be an amazing mentor for Michkov. Yeah, that's a great point about that. That's the reason c'est soit Will Smith or Michkov. And franchement, je préfère ce dernier. Et voilà, Davey go with his selection tonight. Do the ad take a run at Jersey? It can really make an impact at the back ends. But this is another story, guys, about the Montreal Canadiens. From Luciano, and sometimes, guys, the show go up and down. I go left or to the right because people ask questions and then they have some kind of information. So the Montreal Canadiens are out in the race for Pierre-Luc Dubois. We heard now from the Lesson Kings they offer for Pierre-Luc Dubois. Are you ready? Vilardi or Quentin Byfield with Sean Durzi for Pierre-Luc Dubois. So it's a Vilardi or Byfield with Durzi. If you compare this for the Montreal Canadiens right now, right? So what kind of player they can get, the Winnipeg Jet for the Montreal? But it's a Kirby Doc, simple like a Byfield. And then you have to give a defenseman like between like Justin Barron. I would say Durzi better to Jordan Harris on my eyes right now. So this is the cost to get Pierre-Luc Dubois. Montreal cannot do that. They cannot afford to do that. But what the King does this, because the King with Pierre-Luc Dubois, they really believe is the next one going to take a spot at Kopitar. That's a great move for them, and they become better with him versus Byfield. So I don't know what happened there. I think if I was the king, I would love to keep Velarde. It's another big body. I know Byfield is a 6'5", 6'6", but still, with Capital, Dano, and Pierre-Luc Dubois can play. And then I think they will trade after that Victor Arvidsson. But again, it will be very interesting. Great question, Luciano, about that. Bring your question, guys. This is your show tonight. I will go up and down about this one. I want to draft Pierre Deschamps, amazing prospect. Yeah, he retired from Sherbrooke, Québec, Canada. Daniel Guillemette. Salut mon Daniel, merci d'être avec nous ce soir. Any question you have about Montreal? Don't forget, guys, to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show. And this is your app nation. This is the one you can talk about Montreal Canadiens in French and English. Going to insert to you, and I will do my best to add. Would have to add a sweetness to get rid of men. Still cannot believe that Vegas won the Stanley Cup. It should have been a team like Edmonton or Florida. Vegas winning the Cup was a terrible season. It was. I disagree with you, Sebastian. I think you have to recognize that the team of Vegas was. I think it was one of the top best 10 team and 6 team in NHL, in my opinion, if you compare them. But we'll see. Reading was down for Troyes versus a Cup final. Jake McAnoo, yep. That's happening about this. I'm sure Gary Bettman was okay with that. So many good teams were not in the playoff. Washington, Pittsburgh, Montreal, San Jose, Calgary. I don't think so, Sebastian. I think now you just talk about the favorite team you like, but I don't think so. Montreal have the team to make the playoff. San Jose fought to make the playoff. Calgary struggled. They try to make it at the end. Pittsburgh make the playoff, missed the playoff by 1 point. And the Washington have all that kind of injury about that, Sebastian. For that, they were on the ringing down in the USO, Canada. Michel Bettman need to retire. Sick of that idiot criminal. I can see that, but up in the USA. Age game was down 10% USA viewers from Stanley Cup final. Leonard would be my choice, would be a big game player in 5 years. I really like Ren Leonard. Very smart, very nice to hear him in an interview for Ren Leonard. He could be an Arturi Lekonen if you want to compare to him, but a little bit better on the offensive side of the game. He's poised. He's very compete. He's hunting the puck. He's chasing the puck. And he compete all the time. The key behind the Team USA guys, a national team like that year, is always say, okay, who was really the best player? Is it Will Smith, Ren Leonard, or Gabe Perreault? Who take advantage to have a better season with the 2 other teammates he has on the same line? That answer I don't have for you guys, but that's what's happening sometimes. Look about Cole Caulfield with Alfie Turcotte. And Team USA and national team development like a couple years ago. Turcotte draft and never barely make a couple of games in NHL. Still battle in American Hockey League. Yes, he have concussion, he have an injury, but still, Turcotte was supposed to be a great hockey player in NHL. You never know, guys. You never know. Unfortunately, Cole Caulfield draft 15 overall pick and he make it. So. Yeah, what's happening? Where is Fantilli in the mix? Fantilli right now, guys, is on the second pick for the Anaheim Ducks at that moment. A lot of experts talking about this. Most experts put Fantilli second with Anaheim Ducks. Saint Mashkov and move on to the next order of business. Mr. Nicolas de Gobi-Bono is in the house. Welcome. Is Chet Kelly 3,000 yesterday? No clue. There are no first appearing defensemen in the draft right now. Yeah, great point about this, William. You talk about I don't know. Let's see, like Rainbacker, Sandin Pelika, Willander, and Simashev. I think they are the best 4 defensemen right now in NHL draft for this year. Would be interesting which one of them could become a first pairing defenseman. Not many of them, obviously, but we'll see. It's not the year, guys, for the draft, the defenseman. And obviously, in the last 10 days and until next week, they gave a lot of coverage and a lot of increasing the stock market of defensemen. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Like if we talk about 6-7 months ago, guys, maybe 1 defenseman in the top 15. Now we maybe talking about 3 or 4. That's crazy. I'm concerned about any team is going to select Rainbacker, Sandin Pelika, Welander, and Simachev, or maybe draft them too early. They are maybe they are possible to be late first round pick, but to put them all of them at the top 15, that's my biggest concern about them. But the time will tell us about this. Mark Bebino, I would have Benson at this point. Rebecca, maybe if we trade for a little pick. Yes, the problem with that, Mark, is he go down. You never know what you're going to get at that level. We don't talk again about Devoski for sure, but I don't think so. Devoski is number 5. Now, Benson is a very interesting case for Benson. Some people like him a lot. Some people are concerned about his size and about how he can make an NHL, like Matthew Savoie last year. But he's a good hockey player. Whatever he's going to be, the team we're going to draft him, he's going to be a really good hockey player, Mark. I'm not sure between Benson and Leonard what he will be. He'll maybe get a little bit more offensive side of Benson versus Leonard, but I think Leonard will be a little bit more complete players. Like Leonard could play on the power play. Leonard can play on PK. Leonard played a 200 game great. That would be my only compare. It's a great point, Mark. I love when the people, new people here in the chat, are talking about hockey that way. Thanks, Mark. And if ever you have a new people here, please don't forget to click on the like. This is the place for talking about the Montreal Canadiens, Monday nights and Wednesday nights. Smith does not like contact. William, there's a little bit concern about him. He's not always in the front of the net. He's not compete too much. Sometimes there was something that was really his weaknesses weak the last couple of months. But when he proved to the UA or the championship in April, he became the best players on this tournament. He proved a little bit like, maybe we can consider a little bit more toughness inside of him, but still not sure about how he can be, how he can accept all the how it is hard to play in NHL. I'm not sure about how he's going to react about his compete in front of the net. Coach, I don't think David Rimbacher is better than Axel Sandin Pelika, but he had two different players when they about this, right? You talk about Rimbacher could be like Andre K. Miller example. That would be the one closest. Now you talk about Sandin Pelika, it could become a Quinn Hughes in NHL. And again, and I said Pelika is like Quinn Hughes. I just said as a prototype of the player, a 5'10" player, move the puck very well. He was going to carry on the puck, transition great. He's going to be a great power play unit, one possible Pelika. But at the end of the day, how he's going to be on defensive zone, like Quinn Hughes struggled on defensive zone. So that would be the question about Sandin Pelika. On the flip side, Rebecca, like I said, is Andre K. Miller. Can he have a little bit more on offensive side of this game? Maybe it could become a Brett Pesci. The best one they can compare to him, sometimes he's developed very well. He reached his highest ceiling. And Randy, it could become Devon Tays for the Colorado Avalanche. Guys, I cannot tell you exactly, but that's what I heard, what I know about them. But great point, Randy, to mention about the 17. And il y a deux rumeurs que Rimbacher downplay son jeu pour être repêché par une équipe un peu mieux classée. I don't. Je sais pas but I would say to you guys, I don't believe those. This is something I don't believe. It's hard. If it was the case, right, that would be me right now a red flag. And live, guys, you go for greatness. You're striving for excellence. You try to be the best of the best. You want to become the best version of yourself. The type, the action, or the type, the reaction is you just said about Rimbacher, that would be a red flag. It's a guy who gets shortcut. It's a guy doesn't want to do more. And it's like a student go to school. The note to pass in school is 60. I'm 66. That's okay. I passed the class. That's no big deal. It's not good enough. You need 95. You need 99. You need 100. 84 is not good enough. Don't be satisfied with average. Go for the best of the best. That's how you must rate players. How does you must rate people? Striving for excellence. Be hungry. Don't be average. Don't be average in life. And that's what I think. If he's thinking that way, for me, is that, all right, buddy, go play with the other team. We need character. We need leader. We need hockey sense. We need smart hockey player. We want someone is hungry to learn. Someone desire to become better. Make people around better. That's what we're looking for. That's what I'm going to make an interview. I want to know about Leonard, about Mishkov. Can you do that? What is his passion about the game? What he want to learn? What he want to become? Those stuff we need to learn about those kids. Anyhow, I'm not sorry about that. I'm getting excited about life coaching. I will play Benson, Canada, are you sitting? My opinion. And again, Mark, you possible there. I'm not saying you're wrong. Again, guys, when I talk here, I never disagree with you. I just give you another idea, my perspective, and I always respect each one of you because most of you guys knows hockey like I do. So I'm not make me a better to you. Not at all. Just because I host the show, I'm better. Not at all. I don't know too much about hockey. Great mind, Mike. I totally agree. Here we go. Randy is a great page boy. It's not for the Montreal Canadiens. I agree with you about this, William. Mr. Leo is in the house. Welcome back. Not Rebecca, not the guy. I agree with you, Renaud. I feel the same way about this. Thanks to join us tonight, Mr. Leo. Thanks with the hockey. Just want so much more good that. I'm not sure about this, Randy, if they can get more. At some point, the Jets need to realize maybe add a pick with that. But you talk about a defenseman, a second pairing, and you talk about a top 6 player you get in return. I understand they're not there yet, but I don't know, Randy, if the Jet would like to be that way. I think it's just going to end up overpaying for me for one season, and then he would move to Montreal. But it's depend about this, Mark. If those kind of situations, I would say to you guys, there already some kind of agreement between Los Angeles and the players, Pierre Dubois. Whoever get Pierre Dubois, I think you're going to have an agreement right away, a 6-year, 7-year, or 8-year contract. If he signs with the Jet, then he can move on to the new team. That's what I believe will happening. Now, Dubois has those kind of another rumor, like he loved the clothes, he loved the lunches, California area. I don't know why, but that's what I heard. So would be interesting about that. And again, for me, he can go there if he want to be there. And I don't want the Montreal Canadiens pay any asset for Pierre Dubois right now. The problem King are getting registered with that offer. But he can add another pick with that part of their Randy for sure. At some point, the Jet cannot get they not get everything for Pierre Dubois because right now he wants to leave the team. So the Jet are a little bit limited by the trade. They says, no, we're not going to trade him. But Pierre Dubois said, no problem. I'm not going to play hockey anyway with you. So the Jets are going to have Pierre Dubois for nothing for 1 year, sit home, and then they're going to use him as a year free. So the Jets are limited about leverage to ask the moon in return. Now, they can do that with Max Sheffley and they can do that with Connor Hellebuck. But I think for Pierre Dubois, they have some point they cannot ask too much in return, in my opinion. 7, Pierre Dubois is a pre-Madonna and lazy players. We need high-energy players. Leonard is my man. Well said, 7. Welcome to the board. Thanks to be with our Canadian Live Show. Hopefully, you go to subscribe and come back anytime. We do HABS Nation Live Show, guys, on Monday and Wednesday night. I agree with you about that. I really like Rand Leonard. And I have my concern about Pierre Dubois. If you follow me, guys, you know how I talk about Pierre Dubois. He's a good hockey player, but not at $9 million like he requests, and he's not feel he's limited. Can he become, at those 24 years old, 25 years old, you make about 60 points per year, score about 25 goals, 27 goals, 28 goals. You still have a little bit more to become better. But some players get that area, right? And they get big, and they become better. But some players go to under the way. Look about Rand Johansson. When he was a Columbus Blue Jacket, went to Nashville. First year was pretty good. And after that, he dropped and never reached his full potential after that. His contract, $8 million, hurt the Nashville Predator. So you have to be always careful about those kind of players at 25 years old when they never reach the 30 goal and they never reach 1 point average per game. and pay them excessively that way. I'm not sure it's about the right things to do. Listen, are the ad winning until after the draft to decide on Pinard? A great point. Not necessary or on the RHP, but it's not like a situation where it's really the most important things right now. You know, right now they're really focusing on the draft. I would be surprised they wait after the draft to get that. This is not like a big negotiation like Caulfield. It's just about what RHP is looking for. And it's about what a Montreal can afford to do that. And at the end of the day, it's a $1.5 million, a 2-year contract. I believe he should get that. And that's pretty much it. If you compare about Pitlick got 1.1 before that, Armia is at, not Armia, but Pesada is at 7,800. At the end of the day, our guys, Harvey Pinard scored 14 goals in 34 games. How many goals he can do with 82 games? We know that what he can bring. Is it a top 6 or a bottom 6? He did not play enough game, I think, for his leverage to ask $2 million per year. He wants some kind of security. They gave to Montembeault guys $1 million last year, 2 years contract. Montembeault did not prove a lot in NHL until this year. He became a really solid player. That's the same situation with RHP. RHP should be between $1 million to $1.4 million, a 2 years contract. Prove it to us, and then we're going to give you a good contract after that. So what happening after his first year? So in 2024, they can sit again together and to give him now another contract after that, after he finished his final year contract in 2025. Great question, Luciano. André Aubert, notre ami. Quelle date de prospect get a choice par le NHL team? Le 28 juin, André, c'est la première journée pour la première ronde. Le 29 juin, c'est la deuxième journée pour la ronde 2 à 7, mon ami André. Good evening, Adam Bagard, directly from Vegas Golden Knight. Fans from Nevada. Hangover, maybe not, but still on the celebration at Vegas, for sure, Adam. Glad to have you, buddy. Thanks. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. I expect, of course, Adam's going to have an amazing, great trip in July. Thanks so much, Luciano. They want to sign Pinard to a long-term deal, and he spent a 1-year deal. He has a good year. He should make more in the future. Use one to lock him for at least 3 years. That's good. Yeah, it makes sense, Steven, for 3 years. If I was Pinard, I would go for 2 years. But at 3 years, at $1.5 million, that would be a little bit risk. Now, you can see, like everybody, can he go with security, or he can go to another way? For me, if I'm Pinard, I try to get a 2 years contract at 1.5. If I'm Montreal Canadiens, we try to get him at $1.3 million, 1.4 for 3 years. It's a negotiation between two parties. By the end, they're going to have an agreement. Football will be happy about that. Bet out de refaire son Eric Henry disait que je ne jouerai pas à Chicago. Yeah. Hello, James 007 is in the house. Welcome back. Glenn is in the house. Hey, Coach, I was wondering, do you think Montreal is in sort of the band where they cannot sign anybody higher Kazuski if the right player came along? But Glenn is a great question, by the way, guys, for that one. I would say to you, the situation in Montreal Canadiens, they are still 1 year before they become a little bit better and they find a way to get a UF3 or maybe 2 years. At some point, guys, someone's going to make more money at Suzuki Caulfield. Come on, Coach. Cannot. Yes, they can. Thanks so much, Barney 5G, new subscriber to the Hockey National Show. So the point behind that, guys, is when you will become a UF3, and I don't know, like I'll just give you an example and not say they're going to sign him. But if you go like William Nylander, and I don't want to say, oh, he's going to get none. It's not a point. You can send any name, right? It's not matter the name of the players. But at some point, a UF3, the guy scored 35 goals, 40 goals in NHL. He's 26 years old, 25 years old, 27 UF3. Expect those kind of players. He make about 80 points per year, 90 points per year. Expect that player can maybe a 6-year contract, 7-year contract at maybe at $8.5 million. So that will happen at some point. And that's part of the game. It's not because Suzuki is the top ceiling players, but we need at some point pay more players higher if we want to become better in NHL. It could be a defenseman, it could be a forward, or whatever it is. But I just want to give you this example. I don't think so. Montreal is really right now to get those kind of players a little bit higher as Suzuki. I think Montreal is about 1 year to 2 years before they open the door for a UF3 at that level for the Montreal Canadiens. Great question. Andy Kuivula is in the house. Thanks so much, guys. Don't forget to click on that. We missed it. Freddy Tkachuk, 11, and Leonard is a carbon copy with more goal scoring potential. First of all, Steve, I will say to you, you're absolutely right. And sometimes, guys, one decision make a team backwards. I will give you an example. I think Carl Dubas, the way he managed the contract of Matthews and the Marner, make the Toronto Maple Leafs to struggling where they are today. I don't want to go deep about that. The Montreal Canadiens, when they skip Tkachuk over Kotkaniemi, they're really focusing on the center position versus the talent players. And that pushed the Montreal Canadiens backwards. I make a video like 1 month ago about all the Montreal Canadiens select players, and they could select someone else after that. And imagine the thing. I think Charlie McAvoy, Adrian Kemp, we have Brady Tkachuk, and you have other players. I cannot remember each one of them. So problem with that is absolutely right. So if they have Tkachuk, guys, Montreal would be another different way right now today. But it is what it is. We are where we are. Now, if you select Leonard, the only concern about this, Steven, is I'm not sure Leonard has that kind of the physicality or that kind of toughness like Tkachuk. Tkachuk's, the guys, the family Tkachuk are special. But if you take a prototype, a player like Tkachuk, I would agree. But when you said at the end, more goal scoring potential, yeah, if you go about scoring potential, Tkachuk is not like he can score, but it's not easy for him to score. I don't know his shot percentage, but at some point it was really low before. Seven. Overall, I would agree with you if you can talk about that way. I think I was talking more about the toughness. You want 200%. Market Babino. Hughes will have to use up a bunch of the pick to go up, in my opinion. We have too many pick prospect at this point and a limit on the number of contract quality over quantity. At some point it will happen, Mark, and I think from some time, more you have, better it is at some point too, Mark, when you talk about. But that'll give you asset. Montreal can trade Mayu, can trade Lane Hudson, they can trade Joshua Roy, they can trade Farrell, they can trade Owen Beck, they can trade Mazar, they can trade what they have. Because they have someone can pick up his place after that. So they want to get moved up or they want to get a better hockey player. They have asset to give in return. So you never have enough at the end of the day, but I can understand your point of view. At some point, they will have to move someone out. They have only 50 contract limits on this inside of the organization. That's true about that. But at the end, they will be figure out something will happen for the Montreal Canadiens. They will happening. My point to you, Mark, it will happen at some point. One, is it this year to move up? Is it next year to figure out a new players? I don't know. But they would have to trade some point. They cannot keep Kidney, Roy, Farrell, Hanneman, Ilonen, Beck, and Mazar on this organization right now as a winger. At some point, they cannot keep, I would say, Cooley, Harris, Strobel, Jacky on that side. They cannot. They will have to make a trade. And I don't talk about Engstrom. I don't talk about Hudson right now. They are all defensemen, left defensemen. And we have already Madison. If you talk about the right side, that's what they're going to get right now. They have Mayu and Barron. But that will be one point when Montreal, we need to figure out those kind of situations. A great point, Mark. 7 close, but I like your comparison. Yeah, I agree with you, William, about this. But he was right. I didn't read perfectly. Who is Will Smith comparable to? Great question about that. It depends who you talk about. An NHL expert. Some compared to Logan Cooley at 2.0, a little bit more, but Cooley is a little bit more excitement plus. It's more like skating. His skating is really well cool. He put the fence really on the seat when he moved the puck. And NHL, some people compare Will Smith and NHL. I tried to figure out someone I cannot. I have right now Backstrom for the Washington, but it's not Backstrom on my head. It's not Kuznetsov because Carlson is one of them. So I tried to mix up with Smith and Kuznetsov or Backstrom for the Capitals. Let me think about this to give you a better way to said about Smith. Again, he's not like a big body, so it's not a Markov, it's not a Howell, and NHL. Right now, I have GT Miller in my head, but I don't know if it's really GT Miller is the one can become that way. Lane Home for Calgary could be one of them, but again, you have a little bit more offensive side at Lane Home and in NHL. Someone have a better idea can helping me, and then would be I just have right now no players came in my head, other the fact I have GT Miller in my head. I don't know why I have GT Miller in my head right now, but that's the point I'm thinking about him. Try to check Winnipeg Jet. You have just Sheffley over there. The Dallas Star, it's not Robin Haynes. He's only 6'1". If you think about the Kings, not really there. If you think about Nashville, not many there. The Tampa Bay Lightning, Brennan Point, maybe, but Smith a bit higher, is maybe a bit bigger. Point could be one there, could compare to Smith there. Ottawa, Josh Norris, maybe Josh Norris could be there. I would like to hear maybe some of you again right now. If you can help me, that'd be great. The old hockey team with the coach Frenchy. Hey, too, you are just better looking coach. Thanks so much about that, coach. What is your session grade and on the Jet? The Jet was, a difficult year for them. We know they start very well, and they really go down after that for the Winnipeg Jet at the end of the season. They figure out what is the problem is inside the Corona. They have a bad contract, and some players don't want to return over there. It's going to be like this or ever. Winnipeg Jet remind me a lot of Columbus Blue Jacket in the past. They have to trade Pierre-Luc Dubois, Hellebuck, and of course Sheffley, and that will be a turnover over there for Willie Snyder. On the said that division, Central Division, is pretty much pretty good, but the good news for them, the Nashville Predators not going to have a better team, and the Winnipeg Jet are going to fight again with Minnesota Wild and the Colorado Avalanche for the spot in the playoff, and that will be maybe a problem for them with the Dallas Star, Willie. Dubois is going to ask for no movement close. I think will be something could happen to him. André Robert Drouin, we want Dubois game, his play, his talent, but not his constant reversal of playing for another team. He's insane demand to pay. Yeah, point. I agree with you about this one over there for sure, Andre. Mr. Roger Delaney is in the house. Welcome back in the house. Thanks for that. And RHP remind me of Andre Magipani. Scored 35 goals 2 years ago. He struggled this year with 18 goals. I believe he got this year. But he's a tighter player like this. And Rabinov, you're not wrong about Magipani. About that, hopefully Smith get drafted at 5 or B. If Carter Hart stay with the Flyers, I don't think so. He would be traded at some point. I'm not be surprised if Carter Hart guy is traded during the NHL draft. I wouldn't be surprised if they get traded and they pick up a pick between 12 to 20. I don't have no specific team right now in my head, but I would not be surprised it could happen that way. Thanks, Coach. I will be listening to your show at the draft, so we'll have time to look into that with the show of the pick. Definitely, Andre will give us a lot of contents about that. Coach, I wish you go deep on that subject on the one night on Dubas. Will be tomorrow night, William. We can go talk about Kyle Dubas tomorrow night. What it would be his next move, but why happening with the Toronto Maple Leafs at that time in negotiation. Have a couple insight what you have this, coach, because my buddy I worked with him for 7 years, was a goalie coach with the Toronto Maple Leafs. You can verify his name, Steve Briere, hockey school. It was a Canadian professional hockey camp. And thanks so much, Danny T. That lady at the draft knew about this one. Gary, welcome back, Gary. They could trade many a prospect. We have about 3 that will be the CH. Other prospect will end up with the Laval for the next 5 years. Yeah, that's a normal, but more draft you pick, better it is at the end to figure out the right one. And I thought, welcome back in the house. Thanks so much. Mézard a 2 ans pour montrer qu'il est prêt pour les pros. Sinon, bye-bye. André, absolutely right. He really struggled this year, Philippe Mézard. It's happened sometime at anybody's. It's just how you go to recovery. It's how you go to respond for those kind of adversity. You need to prove it again. He deserves one day to play NHL, but we'll see what is going to happen with him. Really important development camp for him and for this summer, and then the main camp for Philippe Mézard, and he can play again in OHL, returning with Kitchener, or he can play with the Laval Rocket. Who do you want to add the draft coach? I feel a little bit concerned about this. Honestly, I don't want Rimbacher. If Smith is open there, I will take Smith. Michkov, I still believe on Michkov, on my opinion. And then Leonard over Benson. So what's your best answer, coach? It's because last year I wait until the last day of before I select Slavkovsky. So I want to wait a little bit longer to hear a little bit more what's going on around the league, the rumor, the speculation, everything like that. And then I will give you my best answer, maybe the 26 or the 27. Point is a good comparison. Thanks so much about that one over there. It took me a little bit more. Thompson, Buffalo. It's just like Tate Thompson is big about that. I was trying to looking Randy for the players similar on his size. Not, you know what I mean? That was the reason I did not mention about Thompson for that. Talking about Will Smith, guys, and William and Randy and all that, people knows about knows about everybody in the chat, guys. Are you agree if I compare Mason McDavid to Will Smith? How do you feel about that one? I know one is a winger. I can play center too. And I don't know. How do you feel about Will Smith to Mason McDavid? That'll be interesting to hear that. Like Clayton Keller, Steven. Not a bad one about this, Steven. I like that. I agree with you. I will hide for Danny also in a tap. And Ollie, it's okay, Ronnie. I could not touch Pele with Berchwell turning into difficult players. Adam, coach, the athlete that I coach and that we have and the team have the hard work ethic. We don't want an athlete who want to be a pusher. We want the athlete he want to drive to work hard. What's said about this, Adam, right, is you can see the character really right away when you talk to them. The work ethic is really the first couple of days you can figure out that very quickly too. Adam, I absolutely agree with you about that. Let's move on for the next one. Larry Lavalley is in the house directly for upstate New York. All this talk about who will draft, they will all good and we'll find a spot for whoever we take. Was said about this one over there. It's funny thing about this, Larry, is to figure out who is going to be with the Montreal Canadiens. Coach, you need a Discord channel, Randy. I need a lot of things, Ryan. It's just my head is too much left and right, but I agree with you. Where do you think Fenteli will end up? Excuse me if you already answered. I still believe he's going to be with Anaheim Ducks. In my opinion, worst case, he's going to be with Columbus Blue Jacket. But when Anaheim Ducks is really where I believe he's going to be. Great question, by the way. Not a problem with that. Glenn Keller is with the Arizona Coyotes. Shucks, you're right. Coach Carlson from Nice would be a good compare. Not bad. I think Smith have a better upside. Carlson is more like a second center, a third center sometime. Yeah, but I would a little bit more. I think Will Smith could become a first or really a good steady center number 2 and NHL maybe number 1. Because good night, Alex Debrincat. Can you see this happening? Coach? He did not resign Barbashev. The problem with that, Adam, they will have to trade something in return. I'm not sure Vegas have all the asset to give to Ottawa they are looking for, unfortunately. So I don't see that happening this way, Adam, because he's not a UFA. Gary Conway is in the house. Welcome back, Gary. Thanks for being our Canadian. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be awesome. The guys on the mission to sing all about NHL. Aujourd'hui, je suis allé aux Zoo de Granby. Wow, longtemps I did not go to. If Cole thinks Smith is the pick that, I'm with him. Yeah, it'll be interesting about this, guy. I'm not done yet here, guys. Let's move on to the next news. We'll talk about this. The Montreal Canadiens, like I mentioned you, Pierre Dubois is out of Montreal. For what we heard, the Lassonke are the front runner. They offer Jersey with Byfield or Jersey with Villardi. Now the Jets are going to respond maybe with something bigger, a little bit more, like I already said. But I don't expect at that moment Montreal are going to make some kind of big trade to get Pierre Dubois because the Jets are demanding more what the Montreal was expected at the beginning to get Pierre Dubois. The Montreal Canadiens announced there are two players on the trade bait. One is Mike Hoffman, and the one is Jordan Munson. Like I talked a little bit more earlier about Emanson's situation, I think Emanson will be trade. Hoffman would be really difficult to move in. At least Montreal kid retaining a 50% contract of this $4.5 million. The Montreal Canadiens announced they're going to meet, Mishkov said he's going to meet the Montreal Canadiens at the Nashville. For a period of time to know a little bit more between both parties. It will be interesting what Mishkov is going to say to Montreal Canadiens, and Montreal Canadiens are going to draft him or not. That will be something to see what's happening. Thanks so much. Don't forget to click on the likes. And the interesting to see how Babcock does in Columbus and who they pick and draft. You can see, guys, once they said with Mike Babcock 1 month ago, Backup makes some requests to them, and they request front player in NHL. Can you see the Cannabis make some move? So Backup told them, look, the defensive player are not good enough right now. You cannot win game in NHL like this. So they want to pick it up, couple of players, and they get the Cannabis they secure more their defense players. Will be interesting now what Backup is looking for as a center in NHL. I think the Columbus are not done yet. They have to secure a little bit more the goaltender. Now, we know they are Taranov over there, the goaltender, young, 24 years old. They may become more at him at Muskakin. But I think Columbus, to perform, to become a contender to play, to try to get a spot in NHL playoff on the upcoming season right away with Goodrow, Laney, and everybody they have, I think they would have to make a spot for the center. Which one? I don't know. What kind of center they can get this year. But they will have to make some move for Mike Babcock because Babcock won more what they have. He likes the blue-collar team too. So we're interested in what the Columbus is going to do about that. Great point to talk about Mike Babcock and D. Coach, you have a Pelika, Wellender, a Bonk from London, all defensemen, obviously. What order do you have in the 1, 2, and 3? It's funny because Sandin Pelika guys at the eyes of everybody have a great year overall. But Willander become really one is step up more of the three defensemen whatsoever. Bonk is a right defenseman, play well with the London Knights at the end of the year. I would say to you, slightly, the only thing for Sandin Pelika is a 5'10", but I would slightly go with Pelika first, Willander 2, Bonk. Willander, I believe, is going to be out between 16 to 22nd in the draft. I think Bonk could be out between 26 to 35 in the draft. It all depends. The team out there, all depends what they're looking for, specific defenseman. Bonk, obviously, I will see him more a defenseman, number 6'5" and 4 NHL. He can become a bit more third if ever he develops. But again, he's still missing a couple of pieces of his tools to become a solid defenseman in NHL. I really like Willander. Sandin Pelika, I'm a little bit concerned because his size, great skater, great offensive. It's a little bit like a Quinn Hughes 2.0. Less talented as a Quinn because Quinn's skating is amazing. But still, could be a player, a Pelika could have 50 points in NHL. His defensive side of the game will be where he will be really struggle there. I'm sorry, Nicola. Devon, coach, Damon Stevenson is gone for New Jersey after 9 seasons. Who would the Devils so looking to put in this place? But you have a lot of prospect over there, Devon. If you think about Nemec, Simon Nemec is really the top one over there. And we know they already trade their Russian kid, Mohu Mamadulin, to to the defenseman San Jose Sharks in return for Timo Meier. But if you think about this, Devon, Nemec is really the one they're looking for. They have, of course, Luke Hughes on the left side. They're going to get a spot. They still have Kevin Ball. They're not sure they're going to do what Ren Graves for the defenseman. But already with what they have already, defensemen like Hamilton, Zidane Heller, whatever his last name, and then you have Luke Hughes now, and you have now you can get, of course, Nemec at some point. Kevin Ball is there. The defensive with John Marino, by the way. The Devils, you talk about build the defense first. That's what they got. If you think about who they are, you think about big guys. Hamilton is a big defenseman over there, and they're going to be set up very well. They're going to hopefully this answer to you if you're looking for about the Devils for that. Now, guys, I have this question for you guys here. Which ad prospect would be in the NHL first? If you ask this question, guys, is it Mayu, Roy, Beck, or Kidney? If you feel about this right now, and when I said NHL, I'm talking about not the first game. I'm talking about more Premier League to stay with the Montreal Canadiens to play at least a half season, a full season. Which player do you think have a better chance to be really at the Montreal Canadiens? Kidney, Beck, Roy, or Mayu? Or if any other prospect you're thinking, Armstrong or Strobel or Farrell, I don't consider anymore an Ilonen and Hanneman. They are 22 years old and older. But I'm talking about the player are shifting now or switching from the OHL or the junior to go in Montreal or Laval Rocket. Which one of them could become permanently a player for the Montreal Canadiens? Did Meier sign a contract with the Devils? Not yet. He got his salary application, but he did not sign his contract yet. You're welcome, Devon. Danny Pellet, the goal should be applied. Beck calls for Danny. Mark, when we're going to be ready to compete, what big name UFA do you think you should go all for it when maybe to overpay a bit? It's really difficult, Mark, to think about this, right? You have to go compare next season. 2024 at least to looking about the UFA, and then you have to compare to 2025. Honestly, you can talk about Austin Matthews, Woody Nylander come quickly in my head about the upcoming. Let me check on my Bible. On my Bible. Here we go, guys. You want to see that? One play come in my head, guys, is Jake Guanzel. But you have Austin Matthews, William Nylander, Brandon Montour, Sébastien Aho, Jonathan Marchessault, Jake Guanzel, Ilya Sorokin, Sam Reinhart, Mark Sheffley, Connor Hellebuck. They are the top 10 over there. If you want more, Steven Stamkos, Devon Tays, Jake DeBrusk, Tyler Toffoli, Elias Lindholm. They are the top 15 2024 on that one over there. So for me, at that one over there, I think I really like Jake Guanzel. But I don't know if Montreal will go to go that one. And I will give you guys for 2025 Brad Burns, Victor Edmond, Aaron Ekblad, Evan Provorov. They are the one I'm talking about. Kavrikov is another one. Sean Theodore for the Vegas Golden Knights. Jacob Chikron. And they are right now the 2025. I don't want to get there too much, but that will give you an idea about that. Great question, by the way. I'd like to know more about those information. Mayu, for sure. Mark Beck for Enartap. Great question. Kidney number 2, Willie Snyder. Beck for sure. Gary Gonoyer. I was thinking, Draisaitl, if Edmonton cannot keep both. I think it's be more in 2025 for Draisaitl, no? Yeah. Draisaitl, guys, is going to be on the... He has 2 more years, so he's going to be only on the summer 2025 mark about that. I heard Mikel goalie came at 6'7" at the combine. He could go higher at the draft. If he goes down, the other goalies go. Nat Lafont will come on board. I would say to you, William, yes, but I still believe him between 28 to 37 for him. I don't see him to go lower at 28. At least a specific team in the draft are really looking for the goalie. But I see more between 28 to 35 or 36 for him. But would be interesting to see that. Guys, now the next one I want to talk about, I don't know if I have time. Let's moving here. Yesterday, guys, I make something. I want to hear from your comments about that. So if you follow me, guys, I do a video every day about app daily news. When the season is on, I have a lot of subjects, but when the season like we are right now, we don't have a lot of subjects. So I'm really focusing on the app rumor. Some of them are not great, or it's not great, but it's a rumor. It's not like all Montreal want to do that. It's what I'm thinking, what it would be good. And then I would say, you know what? I heard from him, Frank Severini from the daily face-off, talk about an offer sheet for Evan Bouchard. He put a couple of teams for Evan Bouchard. So what I did, guys, I put an offer contract yesterday, and Evan Bouchard, I talked with NRTAP how how an offer sheet works, right? How you can pay back, everything like that. And of course, I offer him a contract at 6 to 8 years. I understand 8 years is impossible because he's a RFA and you don't have the rights. But if you get a 6-7 year, I put $8 million. So that people say, oh my God, he does not deserve $8 million. Honestly, I compare him to Noah Thompson and Quinn Hughes. And you're right. He does not deserve $8 million. Of course, I know that. The point behind that, guys, if you do an offer sheet, look like Montreal did with Ao, right? They don't want to give a lot of first-round pick, and they go a little bit lower at what the demand is. So Bouchard, if you said, okay, we're going to offer a sheet him at $6.2 million, 6.3, you're going to give a first-round and a third-round pick in return. But Edmonton are going to match him right away. The Edmonton Oilers are $5 million on the salary cap. That's it. That's all. They have to sign 5 players right now. And they can trade Yamamoto. They can trade Warren for Jet to have a little bit more money on the cap. But if you want to squeeze the Edmonton Oilers and you want them to be a little bit difficult to match up, you have to give Bouchard money. You have no choice. Now, can he deserve $8 million? Maybe not. I understand that. But that's the only way you can get Bouchard on the first sheet. 7.5 example. I don't know. But the point they have this. Now, he's a 23 years old, 6'3", right defenseman, 194 pounds. He scored 12 goals year before, 8 goals last year. He have a 40 point, 43 point. He's not a Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes go almost like 1 point per game, but he scored goal a lot. He played well with the rest of all, play well in McDavid. But he's only 23 years old. His defensive is bad. I know that. People say, hey, you don't check his defensive. Did you ever watch Mike Madison at 22, 3 years old? At 24 years old, 25 years old? It's very bad. Same thing with Bouchard. Bouchard is going to be better on defensive zone at 25, 26. But he's going to be a guy who score definitely 10 to 15 goals per year because his slap shot and the way he plays on the power play. Montreal never have a player like him until Shane Weber on the shooting. At some point, Montreal have to figure out a power play number 1. I don't say they have to trade to get on the first shift for Bouchard. That's not my point here. But a possibility at some point, Montreal need to pay players at some point. Not this year, and maybe because the team is not going to make the NHL playoff next year. They're going to be at the bottom 10 in next season. I understand it's the risk maybe lose the lottery at the end. All this, it was just a suggestion maybe to looking for the Montreal Canadiens. I know not going to happen anyway, but it was a conversation with a lot of people. Oh, maybe it's a good idea. Oh, no, this is too much. Oh, no, this is too much money. Oh, this, I understand that. I just want to talking this way. I would just want to hear from you guys. What do you think? If you will do yes or no about that. Let's see what we got here in the chat, guys. Coach, getting so long somehow would be great for HABS. Dressel would cost you a boatload of money. Gary Cournoyer. Yeah, that's all right. You talk about $11 million to $13 million to Dressel. What's the rate will Dressel get? First $15 million? I don't think so, and Rabinoff. But this guy can become at $12.5, $13 million, and Rabinoff. Coach getting so long somehow would be great for the Montreal Canadiens. I agree with you. Sorokin, so long for Sorokin. That'd be great, but I think the Islanders is going to book him before he becomes the UF3. Sorokin is going to be the next player at $9 million in NHL. I wouldn't be surprised. Bouchard, I'm not sure is worth the pick. 1, 2, and 3. Others face Bouchard for sure. First, second, and third. Bislick, nothing for a position. Our right defenseman for in our tap. Already have Mayu. Why do we need Bouchard? Because Mayu did not make the NHL yet. And you have nothing wrong to have two solid defensemen, right defensemen at the end of the day, and Rabinoff. We don't know yet what Mayu is going to do in NHL. You talk about the defensive zone coverage, you're going to have some kind of problem with Mayu. Again, I'm not saying you're wrong. I would love to have two players like Mayu and Bouchard the same team for sure. You put Edmonton in the deep trouble with an offer sheet on Bouchard. Gary, and on top, I don't do that for Bouchard. Bouchard would be a big loss for the Oilers. And here we go. As a guy, power play number 1D is either gonna be Mayu or Hudson back. The potential is still there, Mark. I think Hudson a little bit better at Mayu, for sure. But again, Mark, you nail it again. I agree with you about Andy. It would be about you will get there for a second and a third round pick for him. I don't think so, Randy. Bouchard is a 10 overall pick in NHL. Potential to become a 60 point in NHL at 23 years old. You have to give him a first round pick in return for sure. Again, guys, a second round pick, third round pick in NHL, the chance to make it is really slim. Forget the money you gave to Bouchard. I would trade my first round pick, second round pick, a third round pick, and Bouchard tomorrow morning without the offer sheet or without the money come with Bouchard. It's a bit for a year to come to development required. And I thought, was said, gotta see what Mayu can do on the power play before you make a move like that about that. Again, it's nothing wrong there. I agree, disagree. And I thought I will give you anything. RJ Calabro, 1-0 first period, 2-2 lead tonight. Game 6 2-2 lead. Archie 1 was it? Bouchard for a second and a third round. Good one. Completely agree with you, Coach, on Sorokin. Andy, I mean, first song we get the competition for him. And that's a plan about this. And that's, guys, conclude the ad offer sheet. Guys, I have a lot of good people in that. Mark, the only issue I have with the Bouchard is how much would he actually produce without the Oilers power play. Yeah, this is another point of view I got on my comments today about the fact he played with them. But I would say to you, Mark, we don't have those kind of players with Montreal right now. That's my own, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a national good asset for the Montreal Canadiens to have Bouchard at the blue line. Now, at the end of the day, the cost and the return, everything like that, Mark, I agree with you. And you or somewhere else on Rabinoff talk about Mayu. Yes, we don't know yet. Mayu will be not in NHL, I believe, for the next 2 years. You may be tasting NHL, but I don't see him to stay right away with the Montreal Canadiens for the next 2 years. At least for this year. I don't see him with the part of the lineup for the Montreal Canadiens right now. So, again, this was just under for a sheet. It was not like Montreal had to get Bouchard. It would not be easy anyway, and they don't think so. He will leave the Edmonton Oilers. But it was just an interesting point to talk about offer sheet. I miss offer sheet, guys, in NHL. I miss it. We need more. We need some kind of better rules about offer sheet in NHL. It's boring, and I think it will be more compete if you do those kind of offer sheet and NHL. Anyway, That will be something to talk about another time. Thanks to RJ. Of course, you will. With Bouchard on the ab, the T-call would be the best in the league with time. That's my feeling about that, Gary. And that's the reason I talk about Bouchard. That said it will happen. But I would say, you think about Bouchard, Mayu, Cooley, right there, 1, 2, and 3. And we don't talk yet about Hudson Barron. We don't talk about Jacky. I'll give you 7 right away there. Ouch. And no one of them are 24 years old. They're all 23 years old, younger. And you add Madison in the equation, are 28 years old. Wow. Wow. I'm getting excited. Where's the draft? Where's the draft? On the clock, on the block, on the clock. You're up, Montreal Canadiens. 5th overall pick, the Montreal Canadiens select for National Team Development and USA. Ren Leonard. You got it now. Here we go. Maybe will offer a sheet Bouchard and pick up Carter Hart on the Gibson Gold. That's, and you may be looking for that one. Carter Hart could be interesting if, the kind of have a lot of prospect for sure about that. I don't know what would be the cost for that, Andy, but that'll be something Cannabis can look in about this. I'm not sure about Gibson over there. Forrest Gump have the inside of the draft pick. When he said draft pick are like a box of chocolate. You never know what you get there. That's right with him about this one over there. Thanks so much, RJ, for the update. Come have to work together to make a trade, so no one want to offend anyone. But I guess that's the reason why they don't see many offers for the initial. Yeah, A2, I agree with you about that. Unfortunately, it's not what we're looking for. What Will Smith is are really aiming for. Yeah, possible. Don't forget, guys, Monday nights, like tonight, and Wednesday night, it's about the Ab Nation show. It's called the Ab Nation Barbecue Show. Why barbecue? It's summertime, so we want to celebrate summertime. And then if you knew people like Mark or Steven, guys, we have a show every Sunday. It's called the Ab Browns. It's off now for the summer. We'll be back during the winter time. And that's happening now. And the Tuesday night, the Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Sometime Thursday or Monday or Sunday will be optional. But the Tuesday night, every Tuesday night during summer, is a Hockey Nation. It's about the NHL. So tomorrow night, guys, we not only talk about the Montreal, but we talk about every team in NHL. So come back tomorrow, every night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. So hopefully, guys, you're going to come back tomorrow. If more team will do offer a shade, team will be less scared of the having and the opposing team try to get revenue like the Carolina Association. Well said, my friend. You're absolutely right about that. Guys, it's time to go there. If you want to stay with me until the end of the show, it's the last part of the show at 9:30 or 10:30 your time. Me is 9:30 and 10:10. It's the time for the Frenchy quiz. To complete the show tonight. And of course, the leaderboard of the Frenchy quiz, guys, is Nicolas de Gobi-Bono and Artap and RJ lead with 2 victories during the summer for the Frenchy quiz. So tonight, guys, we had fun question, some of the college. So it'll be interesting what you're going to do tonight. Don't forget to come back. If ever you're leaving the building, don't forget to click on the like, and we'll be back again tomorrow night. First question of the night.
Oh my God!
Are you ready? On fire! Here we go, guys. The USA College or US College with the most first round pick NHL history after the Michigan University. Who has the school have the most first round pick draft and NHL history? Is it the Minnesota University, the Gopher, the Denver University, the Pioneer, the Boston College, the Boston University, and the Michigan State University? KLS hopefully is here. He loves those kind of questions. Should not be a part of the NHL team strategy. 44 like. Thanks so much for all the like, guys. Don't forget to click on the like. If you don't want, that'd be awesome. We are June 20 for me. Here we go. Error of 0 for me, Randy. Yeah. So this is a question, guys. Andy go with C for Andy with Boston College. Larry Lavalley go with A, Minnesota University. Devon C, A to A. Mark C, and our type A, Steve G, C. We'll see we have other people participate, guys. We're going to give a little bit more time for that one over there. Some people pop up at the last second. Here we go. We have Anne Rabinov with C, Claude Richard with C. Anybody else? Do we have Danny? Danny, Minnesota for Danny. About that one there. All right, guys.
Oh my God!
Yeah, but something was funny here tonight. Nicola go with A. The answer, guys, you not believe it.
Oh my God!
We started the show like we did last night. Nobody got it last night, and nobody got it tonight. The Boston University is the one, guys, have the most first round pick with 9. Michigan at 15. They have a tricky. A lot of people would thinking Boston College, but it's not Boston College, guys. It's the Boston University about that one over there. So congratulations, guys, to anybody get the first answer of this question tonight. Let's move on now, guys, for question number 2 of this Frenchy quiz. William, which player born in Sweden and was not drafted top 5 in the NHL history? Which one of them are never been drafted at the top 5? So 1 overall, 2nd overall, 3rd overall, 4th overall, or 5th overall pick. Which one of them he was not drafted by a team of the top 5 during the year they got drafted? Here we go. Bulger Jervy, Backstrom, Sidden, Forsberg, or Larson. Good luck, everybody. I know, Danny, right? My sheet is blank, by the way. We'll see how we're going to get that one, guys. Some people are looking on Google, so what's going to that? We'll see about this. Gary Cornoyer said B. Thanks so much. We have Andy. We have Anne Rabinoff. Devon Ott. Thanks so much. Larry Lavalley. Larry with G. Vinny with B. Willie Snyder D. A2. We have A2 with B. William McClary D. Randy Walkman E. We have Larry Lavalley. Mac Babineau. We have Steve G, Danny, Claude Richard. We have Nicolas de Gobi Bonno. We have Carl pick because I picked it about this one there. Do we have other people, guys, here? And I'll go with D at the end. If you guys, a lot of people get it. It was an easy question for sure about that.
Oh my God!
The answer, guys, was D. Peter Forsberg never been drafted top 5 about this one over there. Congratulations. We have Anne Rabinoff, Andy Kuivola, Willie Snyder, William McClary. We have Mark. We have Larry, Danny, Claude, and Enartap. So they are the winner of this question number 2, guys. Last one to go of the night. Last question for the winner of the night. I want Gabe Perrault. Welcome back. Welcome. Last question, guys. Most point by a number 1 pick and season leading into the NHL draft from this list below. Who has the most point when they complete the junior and they was drafted at the same year? Is it Eric Lindros, Pierre Turgeon, Patrick Kane, Mel Bridgman, or Dale McCourt? Which player from this list, not overall, because the overall it was Mario Lemieux, but from this list had the most points by the number one pick ends the season leading into the NHL draft from the list below? Here we go. You got it. RJ, go with Eric Lindros. Thanks so much. Mr. Fifth, welcome aboard. Hopefully, you're going to subscribe to the show, by the way. That'd be great. And don't forget to click on the likes. Patrick Kane for Mr. Fifth. Danny, go with Patrick Kane. Claude Richard with Patrick Kane. And they go with D. We have Mac Babino with A. Gary, go with E. Benoit Brunet, number 22. And that with the dollar star too. Devon Hart, go with C. Larry Lavalley, go with B. Vinny, A. And Danny, I'm not copying you for Vinny 007. Vinny was quiet now. A2, go C. Nicolas, go with B. Thanks so much, everybody. I'm missing a couple of people, guys, for that. And Arabna go with B. Enata, go with B. Pierre Turgeon. Nicolas, go with Pierre Turgeon. William McLaren with B. Danny said Lindros. If you're right, I think, Danny, you're the only one can win, by the way. If you are right, let me take this one. We're going to wait, guys, 10 seconds in case someone pick up because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people have one good answer. So maybe some of you going to win the last minute, guys. And Willis and I go with E. And guys, wow. This is the word of the night. Wow. Because, guys, that answer of this one.
Oh, my God.
With only one of you get it. The answer, guys, it was a night of the triple D answer tonight. And Mel Brickman is the winner of the most point between all the 5 players, guys. Only Andy Koivula. He did it, guys. He's the winner of the contest tonight with 2 good answers. Andy Koivula, the first time of the contest of the Hockey National Show, winner of the Frenchy quiz for the first time this summer. We're going to put you on the leaderboard. And of course, and this is, guy, it was a really difficult question on that one over there. Many of you go with Turgeon, and some of you with Patrick Kane and Lindros. Not many go with McCourt. But no, and only Andy go with Mel Bridgman about this one over there. But not good enough, guys, to get that W. Only Andy Koivula is the winner of the Frenchy quiz tonight. Congratulations, Andy. First of all, guys, we want to welcome the new people. Mark, hopefully you're going to come back. I really like the way you talk about hockey. And we are live every night at 9 o'clock. And, of course, Steven was a little bit earlier here. Number 5, you just pop up. If you don't mind to subscribe and click on the like before you leave the building, that'd be great. And that's conclude, guys. Another great show. I don't know Danny or Luciano and Otap. We can go on the meeting after that on the Zoom for about 15 minutes. If you can just text me, that'd be great. Who is Mel Bridgman and Rabinov played with the Flyers a long time ago about this one over there for that. Devon Hart, thanks so much for being a part of the show tonight, guys. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy the show. We're going to be back on Wednesday night for the HABS Nation, but tomorrow night, we're going to be back for the Hockey Nation. Until then, my friend, we wish you an amazing, great night. And like we do all the time, guys, we like to wishing you something very special. Is about one more time. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. You have greatness inside of you. We want to thank everybody, all the moderators of the Hockey Nation show to be with us tonight on another great HABS Nation barbecue show. Until the next time, guys, we want to thank everybody, the new people in the chat and the people come back to support the Hockey Nation show. Thanks so much for every one of you. And one more thing to say to you before we leave the building. Be well, be L. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the first half of what? Your 2023. And it is a great night, everybody. Sweet dream. Can wait to see you on the next time. Until then, of course, remember, We love you, people. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Good night, Nicola. Have a good night, Luciano. And after that, Willie Snyder, Gary Connoyer, Claude Richard, Andy, Vinny, Luciano, Anne Rabinoff, Mark, Babino, William McClary, RJ, Steve G. We see you at the last minute. Sorry, Steve, I did not see you earlier. Steve G, welcome back. Willie Snyder and the house tonight. Claude Richard, A2, Larry Lavalle, Devon Ott. Here we go. A lot of people in the chat tonight. Thanks so much. Don't forget to click on the likes. Randy Walkman, by the way. Have a good night, Randy. Good night, Willie. One more time. He's coming, Vinny. Have a good night, Vinny. Oh. Booyah!